Today at Insight into Injury, we're going to talk about trigger finger. Trigger finger is known because it leaves your fingers kind of stuck in a position like a trigger. Today we're going to learn how to prevent that. Carrie's here today with me, and we're going to do some exercises that keeps that tendon that would otherwise be grabbing your finger down into that position loose. First stretch is an exercise for the muscles along the palm side of your forearm. Carrie, if you want to hold your arm up, grab your fingers with your other hand and pull back with your hand. Good. You should be feeling that stretching along in here and also into your palm. The muscles that are part of your hand and your digits, your fingers, connect all the way up to your elbow. So we need to be stretching those muscles all the way up to the elbow. It's really important that you keep your elbow straight for this. Otherwise, the full stretch of that muscle isn't going to happen. After 20 seconds, give it a rest. And do another 20 seconds. I tell you, this one's the most important one. And after a good 20-second stretch of this, we'll move on to the next exercise. For this one, you want to turn your palm up, reach under, and grab your thumb. And you're not just grabbing the tip of your thumb, but you also want to grab the meaty part. Yeah, just like that. So you're putting a little pressure down with that thumb, and you're gripping and pulling there, keeping your palm open. This opens up that center of your palm, which relieves any tension that might be running through that tendon down to your finger. After 20 seconds of that, the next exercise we're going to do is more specific for the actual finger stretch. So whichever finger it is that you're feeling tight, and we'll do a couple of them today, you want to individually take that muscle and give it a stretch. And then move on to the next finger. You should be feeling this kind of along each of these knuckles of your fingers as well as through your palm. And go ahead and move on to the next finger too. And the locking could even sometimes occur in your thumb. So here, similar to the exercise we just did, you want to pull down and stretch on your thumb again too, just to really make sure those tendons are loose along those digits. Strengthening is also an important part of preventing trigger finger. So we'll do so with a ball grip. Carrie, take that in your hand there, and it really doesn't matter if your hand is facing down. It could be at your side here. You could have your hand or your wrist in any position that you want, and you want to get a decent squeeze on there, enough that isn't causing pain but makes it feel like you're getting a workout in. 10 squeezes, and as you will feel as you're doing this, you're going to even notice some of the muscles running up along your forearm tensing up and along in there too. If you don't have a ball, just wad up a bath towel. You can even use the top of your knee to squeeze it if you wanted to do that. Some way that you can not have your hand really close into a tight fist. I definitely want to have you use something in your palm, but you want to be able to get a squeeze through that. Then we're going to switch over to the muscles on the back side of your hand. With that, we'll use a rubber band. Any old rubber band will do. This happens to be a hair tie. And Carrie, wrap that around the tips of your fingers, so it's kind of around the end knuckle. Good. And once you get them all in position, talk like a duck. Just kidding. So actually, you did right though, just like a duck mouth would open, but you want to get a little bit more expansion of your fingers, keeping your knuckle bent. This knuckle here along the top should stay a little bent so the rubber band doesn't slip up. And you'll feel that pulling the muscles along the outside of your hand. Mm-hmm. You might even start to feel a little fatigue way up at your elbow. Again, those muscles are really long. They go all the way from the tips of your fingers up to your elbow.
I feel it.
Yeah. Good. So once you feel it, do 2 more. Always want to go a little extra just to really get them strong. Great. We've got a couple more strengthening variations that we're going to keep working on. With this one, you can look at your palm. Your thumb and your pinky should come together and compress down on that however hard you can so that you feel like, oh yeah, those muscles are working. And you'll see a little bit of tension into your palm there. That's great. After a brief push, switch to your next finger and push, and to your middle finger and push, and to your index finger and push. And you can keep going up and down that line. We'll do that 3 times today, back and forth. The idea is you're getting the muscles to contract individually. A lot of times at work, if you're gripping onto a tool or maybe holding a knife or even on the computer where you're typing, you're you might not be using each muscle individually, and then you get some compensations. Some muscles end up being stronger than others. Others are tighter than others. Doing each finger individually is going to balance that out. One other way to strengthen your fingers, we'll move on, is we need some leverage here, because with trigger finger, you have a problem because of the bending. When you bend your finger, they get stuck into place. So we want to strengthen those muscles, but without bending your finger at the same time. So just by placing your hand on a table or on your lap, or even if you have to, you can use your other hand as leverage. Get the sense of squeezing your fingers, almost like there would be a ball between your hand and your leg, and you are squeezing down on that. You're getting a slight bend as you pinch down on these fingers here, but you should be feeling a little bit of your palm muscles working, and maybe even up along the backside of your wrists working there as well. If you're on your way to work, I just want to flush those muscles out here one more time with the stretch that we started with, and pull your hand back up in there. After you work out, you should always stretch it out too. And a little bit of self-massage just to really get the blood flowing through there is another good thing to keep doing periodically throughout the day. If you picture each one of those finger tendons kind of running down, all meeting at the center of your palm, you want to trace along those tendons with your other thumb. And if your other thumb's not feeling up to the task, you can actually use your elbow bone to kind of dig in there and kind of rock it around into your palm as well.
Or your spouse, right?
Yes, spouse, friend, coworker, you guys are all in this together. All right, well, I hope you learned some tips and keep these in mind throughout your workday. Anytime you get a break, you can always throw in a quick stretch here or there. And I hope this keeps your hand nice and healthy. Have a good day. Thanks, Karen.